Hello, YouTubers. I hope everyone is doing well today. This is Rudy Davis again from Dallas, and I felt compelled to make a video on how we deal with those in our close circle of family and friends that are not awake and don't see the evils of collectivism and socialism, and the fact that we're moving towards those things, and they just simply don't share the views that the American patriots do, that that I see on YouTube. So I got all my cussing out of the way in my last videos, and I feel like much better, and I plan to return to being a decent human being for the time being. And every now and then I may have to let a few cussing videos loose just to get it out of my system, but I feel a lot better about getting all that out of my system. And I just wanted to make a video on, I felt compelled to make a video on, we all have those in our close family, circle of family and friends that don't see things like we do, right? They don't see the evils of the New World Order. They don't even believe the New World Order exists. They don't understand the fact that we're moving in a direction which is going to totally ruin the constitutional values this country was founded on. And, almost without exception, the people that I fellowship with and the people that I communicate with that share these beliefs, that I share these beliefs with, are out in YouTube land, right? I mean, almost everyone in my close circle of family and friends thinks I'm a nut. So, I realize that I may not be the only one having that issue, but if you do have that, right, I mean, you have to realize that not everybody can wake up in the morning, have a conversation with somebody, and then come to the realization that there's a small group of men trying to take over the world and turn us all into slaves, right? It's just going to be very difficult. It takes time to convince people about what's going on, and you may think I'm being too soft on them. You may think, these people are sheeple and they need to be awake. They need to, become awake. And I agree with you. Put yourself in the mind of a grandmother, right? I mean, this grandmother may have lived her whole life taking care of her kids and then taking care of her grandkids, sending them to public schools. She may get up in the morning and put pot roast in the oven, or she may start baking a pecan pie or baking some cookies, and then along in the afternoon she has to pick up the kids from school later on in the day, and then along in the afternoon some young 40-year-old whippersnapper has a conversation about, oh, did you hear about the New World Order and the fact that there's a small group of elite men that are international bankers trying to take over the world, and they all want to turn us into slaves, and sometimes they want to put RFID chips in us. And oh, by the way, did you realize that jet fuel doesn't melt steel? I mean, it's just an impossible conversation to have. There's no way that it's just fruitless, right? It's a fruitless conversation to have. And I would imagine I'm not the only one in this position. There's probably a lot of patriots out there that have a close circle of family and friends that don't share your beliefs about what's going on in our country and the attacks upon our personal liberties. And I would offer to you that we have to love them anyway, right? I mean, obviously there's no point in getting into an argument with anyone, and just probably worth even dropping the conversation. And even though sometimes you see people in your close circle of family and friends root for the other side, I mean, believe it or not, there's a lot of people in my close circle of family and friends that do not share my passion for the Second Amendment. They believe that, we should strip citizens of their guns and only the government should have guns. And that's an issue that I'm willing to fight and die for, but I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to create a conflict with a family member or a friend. I'm just simply going to say I politely disagree. I'm going to refer to them to the Second Amendment. I'm going to refer to them to the Susanna Gratia Hupp video on why she, there's a great video by Susanna Gratia Hupp about the Second Amendment, and there's just no point in creating conflict in your personal life over just because these people are not awakening as fast as you would like to see them awake. In my own personal life, even just 2.5 years ago, I was not fully awake. I mean, I remember working for a company, a big multinational company, and there would be people come up and they would start a conversation with me, and I've always been a friendly guy, right? And they would say things to me like, hey, Rudy, did you know the government stopped reporting M2 today? And I'm like, oh, really? I don't even know what the hell M2 is. And what's that? Oh, it's where the government reports how much money they print every year. Did you know they stopped reporting that? And I'm like, well, I didn't know that. I don't know what the point is. That seems kind of weird. I wish they would report it. I think they should. And then the same person, maybe a few years ago, would say, hey, have you seen this video, Freedom to Fascism, by Aaron Russo? And hopefully you have watched that video. You need to go watch it if you haven't. But Freedom to Fascism is a video that was recommended to me 2 to 3 years ago, and it helped me on my journey to become awake. I would say the main thing, the main thing that I hang my hat on as far as what really woke me up is when I read the book from cover to cover, The Creature from Jekyll Island. And if you haven't read that book, you've got to read that book. But in any event, the main crux of, or the main focus of this video that I want to make tonight is people are not going to wake up in a day and realize all the things that are going on, and we shouldn't expect that. And we love our family and we love our friends. They are the reason we fight. The fight that we fight, the American Patriot fight, is for these people. And even though they may root for the other side every now and then, I am telling all of us we have to love our family and our friends. We politely tell them what we think. If they don't agree, that's okay. Let's just continue to doing what's right and doing the right thing. And for all of you out in YouTube land that are making American Patriot videos, that are talking about personal liberties, talking about the Constitution, talking about the Second Amendment, talking about fighting the path of socialism, I salute every one of you. I learned so much from you guys, and I'm not a know-it-all. I do not know. I'm just trying to make a living in Texas. I don't have any special insight into any of this, but it's obvious to me what's going on. I've become to the point where it's very clear to me. And for those of you that lose hope or feel overwhelmed by this, I have the same problem. I at times become overwhelmed. I don't preach that. I mean, it's not to say that I don't preach. Maybe that's a misuse of words. I don't know if we're near the end of the world. I mean, I got to be very honest with you about this, and I'm not knocking anyone who about their beliefs, not one single person. But the good Lord has not seen fit to tell me if and when the world is going to end anytime soon. So what I do in my life is I live my life to my fullest. I keep my job. I try to make my living as best I can. I want to support my family, and I want to do the right thing. And every one of us on this planet is going to die at some point. And none of us get out of this without dying, right? Every single one of us has got to go through death, right? It's inescapable. I mean, all of us have experienced family members or close friends that have died and gone to funerals. I saw my own brother on a hospital bed take his death rattle, and I'm telling you that all of us are going to go through that. And I would ask you to live your life in such a fashion that you're proud of it when we get to the hereafter. And when you stand before God in judgment, you can be proud of what decisions you made and what actions you took while you were in this life. So let's love our family and our friends. They don't have to agree with us. They may not be awake. That's okay too. Let's politely tell them the truth. Do not get in an argument with them. It's not worth it. If it gets to a point where it's causing so much conflict, just drop it, right? Just continue to do the right thing. Continue to prepare yourself. Continue to get food and water. Continue to, get guns and ammo for any potential that could happen. Prepare yourself like it is the end times. I'm not saying that it's not. I do not know, but it looks like things are very bad on the horizon, a bad moon horizon. And so I'm going to prepare myself like it is. But as far as whether it actually is, I don't know. The good Lord hasn't seen fit to talk to me or give me dreams or give me visions. And there is a quote in the Bible I would ask you to consider as you watch me say this, and that is, "Blessed are those that believe and yet have not seen." And so I do believe, and I haven't seen anything from the good Lord, but I see things around me, and it's obvious to me that we're moving in the direction of New World Order. We're moving in the direction of socialism. We're moving in the direction of getting rid of our constitutional values, and I want to fight that tooth and nail. It's a fight that I'm willing to put my life at risk for. And God bless you all. For all of you American patriots out there making American Patriot videos, I salute every one of you. I'm learning quite a bit. And I think it was Stonewall, if I'm not mistaken, that talked about the U.S. civil flag. I ordered my U.S. civil flag, and I'm going to be flying it, and I think that's a great idea. So God bless you all, and thank you very much for all your videos you're putting out. Good night.